Okay, so what if the next version of the internet wasn't built by some giant corporation, but by you? It sounds kind of wild, right? Well, that's the super ambitious vision behind a project called Linkspreed. They're calling it Web 4, and it's all about creating a completely new user-centric online world. So let's dive in and break down what that really means.
To really get our heads around this whole thing, it all starts with one huge question. What if you, and only you, truly owned your online identity? I'm not talking about your account on some platform. I mean the core of who you are online. Not a company, not a service, just you. Keep that thought in your head, because it's the key to everything we're about to cover. All right, so first up, let's look at the big picture, the Web 4 vision. The whole idea here is to shift the internet's center of gravity away from these massive platforms and put it right back in the hands of people, us.
Right now, the internet we all use is basically a bunch of walled gardens. You've got your data in one place, your friends in another, and these giant companies control it all in their own separate silos. Well, the Web 4 vision completely flips that on its head. We're talking about user-centric sovereignty. In plain English, that means you own your data, and the whole network is built to be decentralized and way more resilient.
So what does that actually look like? Well, the goal isn't to build another giant social media platform to rule them all. Nope. It's about creating an entire ecosystem where thousands of tiny, community-owned micro-social networks can pop up. Think about it. A network for your book club, or your local hiking group, or maybe a fan community for your favorite band. Each one run by its members, for its members.
Okay, so if you're going to navigate this new kind of internet, you need a new kind of ID, right? You need like a digital passport that works everywhere. For Linkspreed, that passport is called the UIID.
UIID stands for Universal Integrated Identity Decoupled, and that last word, decoupled, is absolutely crucial. It means your core identity, who you are online, isn't chained to any single service. It belongs to you, and only you. You just grant services permission to verify it. That way, no single company can ever just decide to lock you out or delete your entire digital existence. And get this system completely gets rid of passwords. It uses something called a challenge/response system. The best way to think of it is like a super secret digital handshake. A service sends a challenge, like a unique, one-time question, to your device. Then, your device uses your private key, which never ever leaves it, to sign a unique response. The service can check that the signature is legit without ever seeing your secret key. It's all secure cryptography, not some password you have to remember or forget.
Now, obviously, an identity this powerful can't just live on the old internet's infrastructure. It needs a completely new foundation, one that's just as decentralized and secure as the identity itself.
And this foundation really rests on two main pillars. First, you need some seriously secure hardware to act as a vault for your identity. That's a system they call Winix. And second, you need a new kind of decentralized cloud for your data to live on, and that's called Arctic.
Let's break that down real quick. Winix devices, think a specially designed phone or maybe even glasses, are basically built to be a physical fortress for your private key. Then you have Arctic, which is this global network of small user-owned servers. So instead of all your data living in some massive corporate data center halfway across the world, it's spread across this network. This means there's no single point of failure, it's way more private, and things can even be faster because your data is physically stored closer to you.
Okay, so we've got the new identity and the new foundation. That's the how. But what about the what? What can you actually do with all this stuff? Let's take a look at the tools that bring this whole ecosystem to life.
Your main way in is something called the Project Super App. You can think of this as the control panel for your entire digital life. It's the one place you go to manage your identity, control who gets to see your data, and access all the different services and communities you're a part of. And inside that app, you'd find a suite of software they call TRIVE. This is built on a really cool philosophy: tools as a right. The whole point is to give everyone access to powerful, privacy-first tools. We're talking everything from Office docs to creative apps. And because everything connects back to your UID, your data and settings just follow you around. No more setting up your preferences for every single new app you download. It just works.
So how do all those microsocial networks we talked about earlier actually get built? Well, that's where SNaaS comes in. That stands for Social Network as a Service. It's basically a platform that lets anyone, not just giant tech companies, easily spin up their own social network. They don't have to build all the complicated identity or data systems from scratch. They just plug right into the UID and Arctic Foundation and focus on building their community.
All right, let's pull all these pieces together. We've got the identity, the hardware, the network, and the apps. How does this all connect to create what you could call
your web.
It really boils down to these three core parts working together. Your UID is your identity. It's the proof of who you are. The Arctic network is your data storage. It's like your own personal, secure cloud. And the super app is your access point. It's the control panel for everything. Each piece does one thing, but together they give you total control. And all of this leads to this really powerful idea they call existential portability. I know it's a fancy term, but the concept is revolutionary. It means your entire digital life is tied to your key, not to some platform's database. So if you decide you don't like a service anymore, you don't lose everything. You just pack up your identity, your data, and your connections, and you take them with you.
When you step back and look at all these interconnected parts, you start to realize they're not just building another app or service. The best way to put it is this. Linkspreed is trying to build a whole new, decentralized operating system for the internet itself.
I mean, it is a massive, incredibly ambitious project, there's no doubt about it. And it leaves us with one last really big question to think about. Is a truly user-owned internet, where we all hold the keys to our own digital lives, the future that we actually need?